Enjoy a wide variety of real value freshness from the one that gives you real value always. This time check is brought to you by TM Pick and Pay. It's time for the news.
We're broadcasting live from our Pockets studios right here in Highlands, Harare. My name is Zain Jamo and welcome to the main news. And of course, it's always a lovely evening to you, Joyce.
Oh, good evening to you, Zain, and thank you for joining us once again on tonight's edition of the main news. My name is Joyce Mabiga. Nobo Maungwa is on sign language.
And of course, later on, Sibugele Maposa will be joining us from our Montreux studios. But we kick off this bulletin with the headlines. The 9th Forum on China-Africa Cooperation officially opens with a call for Africa and China relations to be elevated.
In business, Zimbabwe's aviation compliance ranks high in the region thanks to government's airports modernization strides.
And in sport, Warriors gone for victory when they take on Kenya in an AFCON qualifier.
Those are the leading stories in this bulletin. We now give you the details. The Forum on China-Africa Cooperation has been officially opened by the President of China, Xi Jinping, who called for bilateral relations with African countries to be elevated to strategic relations with mutual benefits.
Brought together by shared goals of pursuing development and modernization, heads of state from across Africa met the leader of the host country in Beijing Thursday, with the meetings set to spill into Friday. The Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC, which has become a platform to share ideas and create partnerships, was officially opened by the host country's President Xi Jinping, who called for the uplifting and broadening of relations between his country and Africa.
China-Africa friendship. We always empathize with and support each other, setting a stellar example of a new type of international relations. Thanks to nearly 70 years of tireless efforts from both sides, the China-Africa relationship is now at its best in history. With its future growth in mind, I propose that bilateral relations between China and all African countries having diplomatic ties with China be elevated to the level of strategic relations, and that the overall characterization of China-Africa relations be elevated to an all-weather China-Africa community with a shared future for the new era.
President Xi Jinping said China and Africa should pursue a modernization agenda that is just and equitable and comes with mutual benefits of modernization that put the people first.
We should jointly advance modernization that is just and equitable. In promoting modernization, we should not only follow the general rules, but also act in light of our national realities. China is ready to increase exchanges of governance experience with Africa.
He also noted that in the next 3 years, China will work with Africa in partnerships that include education, trade, and industrial value chain cooperation. After the official opening, President Emmerson Mnangagwa addressed the meeting on strengthening the exchange of experience on governance and exploring paths to modernization. He said as Africa and China pursue cooperation, they must leverage on their combined population of about 2.8 billion in terms of trade and cooperation.
Undoubtedly, the unique historical backgrounds of our countries and the varying socioeconomic and political factors have led to different stages of development. However, Africa in particular must look forward with bold optimism and confidence, riding on strength in unity, cooperation, collaboration, and solidarity. This must be anchored on intra-African synergies and also mutually beneficial partnerships such as that offered under the China-Africa Forum. His Excellency President Xi Jinping highlighted that together, China and Africa present a population of about 2.8 billion. This strength in numbers is indeed beneficial in respect of markets and the stronger voice of the global South. Most importantly, however, the Africa and China bloc provides an endless spring of shared ideas, knowledge, cultures, values and principles for a better future for all.
President Mnangagwa said the world has been changing with incredible speed, hence the need for interdependence.
Multilateralism is taking a new form. Hence, entrenching sustainable governance systems must be guided by defining country characteristics and unique identities. We must remain true to ourselves, guided by our distinct histories and distinct cultures. As we engage within the Committee of Nations, diversity must be respected.
President Mnangagwa also used the platform to highlight the strides that Zimbabwe has made in promoting science and technology, as well as spurring development that serves the people. Since attending the 2018 forum, Zimbabwe has partnered the Chinese government and entities in key infrastructure projects, which include the construction of the new parliament building in Mount Hamden and the expansion of the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Beijing.
Acting President, General Retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, has been impressed by the exploits of the country's archery team, which clinched bronze at the just-ended Region 5 tournament in Namibia. Let's get the details.
Zimbabwe's archery national team and development side participated at the Region 5 Games in Namibia, where it scooped bronze. Proudly displaying their medals, members of the team met Acting President, General Retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, at his Munumtapa offices in Harare this Thursday. The acting president commended the team and coaches for raising the country's flag high, urging them to aim for the Olympic Games in 2028.
I wish to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Zimbabwe archery team for their outstanding achievements at the regional tournament held at Walvis Bay, Namibia. Well done, Zimbabwe archery team. Your performance was quite impressive and is a source of immense pride for our nation. And I commend each of you for your dedication, hard work, and exceptional skill.
You also urged national associations to come up with the developmental initiatives that ensure every child has an opportunity to participate in sport.
I urge the Sports and Recreation Commission and its parent ministry to focus on the developmental initiatives in sports codes that have a minority status. Let's take everybody on board. Let's develop this sport. Every sport in Zimbabwe has to be developed. We want to encourage the young generation into different sporting activities, and we can compete in any sport. So as you do your education, you can become an engineer or a pilot, but you must still do sport.
The Minister of Sport, Arts and Recreation, Honorable Kirst Coventry, is convinced the team is what it takes to compete with the best on the global stage.
Let's keep the momentum from this moving forward and keep working with them closely so that we as government can step in and support the athletes where needed.
The Zimbabwe Archery Association is confident of successfully hosting the regional tournament in 2026.
Zimbabwe is fielding 2 school teams, a national and a development team, and continues to achieve very pleasing results, encouraging the development of young athletes on the path to Olympic and World Games.
We thank you for this opportunity to meet personally our proud and young squad hear a small part of our history, and learn about our future plans and aspirations. This level of recognition and interest that has been given is so important and poignant in this particular time in their lives.
The Sport Recreation Commission is equally excited, with SRC Director General Eutam Nengomasha saying the performance of the archery team brings hope to the nation.
We are going to roll out programs that ensure that even the disadvantaged communities have access to the game, so that it's a holistic and well representation of Zimbabwe.
Acting President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga had an opportunity to interact with the team, and he pledged 5,000 United States dollars for the development of the sport. Bruce Chawanda, SABC News, Harare.
The local tourism sector is abuzz with anticipation ahead of the 17th edition of the Sanganai Hlanganani Tourism Expo, which presents abundant opportunities for growth.
The nation's largest tourism showcase, the Sanganai Hlanganani Tourism Expo, which will be held from the 12th to the 14th of October, serves as a crucial platform for industry players to connect, network and showcase their products and services to a global audience. With Bulawayo gearing up to host the prestigious event, expectations are high for a significant boost to the country's tourism landscape.
With the international conference for Sanganai Hlanganani coming, it will certainly help us to push on our mice business and to show the world, to show Zimbabwe what we have with regards to mice product here in Bulawayo.
Gastronomy, a growing sector in Zimbabwe, is expected to be one of the standout features at Sanganai Hlanganani.
This is going to give your chefs a platform to be innovative around our traditional dishes and showcasing their skills. There's a lot of excitement, so there will be a whole 5 dedicated specifically for that. So you're going to see some interesting things there.
The expo is also expected to play a significant role in attracting tourism traffic.
We have clients that are coming from outside, even artists who come for residency programs that we run here at the National Gallery. Through the Sanganai Hlanganani, we've been able to meet artists from international world coming here in Bulawayo to have an exchange programs with the local artists and conduct art workshops and master classes that benefits the locals to learn also from the international world.
The tourism sector has played a crucial role in the growth of Zimbabwe's economy, contributing to job creation, foreign exchange earnings and cultural exchange. The Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo is expected to draw over 400 exhibitors from 8 countries. Helandomo, SABC News, Bulawayo.
The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, took her career guidance, grooming and stay-in-school program to the children drawn from the country's 10 provinces to participate at the inaugural First Ladies Boys Camp this Tuesday. Let's get the details.
A First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, took a career guidance and stay-in-school program to participants of the National Boys Camp this Tuesday, bringing qualified personalities from various disciplines to help mentor the boys on making responsible choices with an aim to impart a positive mindset in the younger generation. The program comes at an opportune time when the country is working towards the achievement of an upper middle income society by 2030. When the boys woke up, they started by spreading their beds and cleaning their rooms like what they were taught by Amai, who is staying with them for the duration of the camp. After cleaning their rooms, they proceeded to do morning exercises before taking their baths and being served with breakfast by the mother of the nation. After eating, the boys put what they were taught by Amai into practice when they washed their utensils and mopped the floors. After that, they had morning devotion led by Chaplain Christine Piri from the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Services. The boys were then taken through the career guidance session. There was not even a dull moment as the learners who were drawn from the country's 10 provinces got as much information as they required and the rare opportunity to interact with the First Lady and mentors from different professions. Dr. Mnangagwa, who unpacked the program to participants, implored the boys to focus on education and building sustainable careers. She indicated that the comprehensive program will help learners to make informed decisions about their future.
Be participative, ask questions, so that it builds you, even starting from the selection of subjects that you are going to study or that you are going to pursue. It starts from the level where you are now. I was very happy seeing you cutting vegetables, The utensils that you used for breakfast, you cleaned them, which you did today again. And I want this to continue, even if you go back home. That's what you're going to be doing. That's the life that you're going to be in. You have to be responsible in all what you do.
Amai Mnangagwa also spoke on the importance of discipline, hard work and focus, which are critical elements for one to lead a responsible life. She implored the children to embrace all the teachings they were receiving and cascade them to their peers in their respective provinces. Legal practitioners, nurses, doctors, farmers, teachers, uniformed forces like the police, ZPCS officers and the army were granted the opportunity to interact with learners, sharing their life experiences as a motivational factor. During the session, students received valuable guidance and learned about different career opportunities from the mentors.
Unofana kuwa une makore kubva pa 18 years kusvika pa 30 years. Chechipiri unofana kuita masubjects ako 5 asi chiri chokutanga chatinoconsider kuti hunhu hwako hwakamira sei. Munhu wese ita hunhu unotangira kuti unodevelopa inonzi positive attitude unokuda kwenyika yako.
Kwedu kubasa tinofamba takatarisa kuti mutungamiriri wenyika vari kuti kudini. Vari kuti leaving no one and no place behind.
The police also demonstrated how they carry out their duties, much to the delight of the learners.
Mira. Ayo, imbaje kai. Ayo ndonde. Ndoshanza kunatira. Saka musha dzako dzanhatu. Yekutanga i-theft yadati kutsvagira ine mafoni 2 wakabaya. Saka nekodzero dzako dzatofana kuti kuzivise katika ngeta kusunga. Yekutanga ndoenda toita yekukuzisa mosha ndiri kusungira. Kana fungidzira kuti iwo wambunyikidzwa wasungwa zviri kunze kwemutemo une kodzero iwo yekuchallenja through the courts kuti ndandisina mosha ande
ko ndikabudza maprofit
From the legal fraternity was Mr. Charles Maneri, who shared with the learners what it takes for one to qualify to be a lawyer.
Law kana kuti mitemo kana kuti basa rezvemitemo unofana kunga wakaita 5 O levels dzako wobva waita A level which is form 6 but unenge uchiita anonzi ma social ma arts subjects.
In the same vein, members from the Zimbabwe National Army helped learners to better understand career opportunities available in the defense sector.
Ukawe waenda kuuniversity unotambirwa zvakare asi chikuru unofanira kunge uri physically and mentally fit.
Representatives from the health sector, engineers and lecturers also explained some of the requirements for one to make it into their fields.
Uchigona chemistry, uchigona maths, uchigona zvinhu but kana pasina hunhu hausi chiremba. Nenyaya yekuti upenyu hwemunhu kana waenda hakuna anoudzosa. Mutrenerwa unoitwa sachiremba, you are not allowed to make mistakes.
A teacher also weighed in, saying the teaching profession is the father of all professions.
The teaching profession is the grandfather, is the father of all professions. It is the teacher who identifies the potential of all these learners.
Not to be outdone is Mr. Taura Mtesi, a farmer and value chain player, who said that farming is a profession that is God-given.
You need the skills. Ma skills iwayo anongowanikwa chete kana uchinge uri munhu anotanga kuvhurika pfungwa ari mwana mudiki. How do you get into health lifestyle kana usingagoni kuzvirimira kana ka garden ke vegetable?
The learners were allowed to ask questions during a lively interactive session which left them motivated and inspired.
How long does it take to get a master's degree while it's studying to be a psychiatrist?
You first do a diploma in mental health. That's a 1-year diploma. After you pass that diploma, that's when you can apply for a master's in medicine psychiatry. You don't go straight to psychiatry after finishing your first degree. You first do the diploma. It's mandatory.
I want to ask that does it need training to become a singer?
How long does it take to compose one song?
Pakugadzira song panoda sober mind. Ndio inoita kuti ufunge zvinhu zvinobatika. Kuti uzone kabatanidza word iri neiri neiri rikazondoteererwawo nemunhu akadzidza anonzwa zvichimumekera sense kuti zvinhu zvaimbwa pazvine musoro izvi.
To put a lead on the career guidance program, professionals from the aviation sector showcased what their job entails, leaving the students in awe. Amai thanked the facilitators for assisting her in mentoring the kids, rallying the children to put what they've learned into practice. After the career guidance session, the boys had to showcase their culinary skills through baking chimodo. Professional chef Mr. Koke Thomas Gamani led the children through the baking process.
What is a food cuisine?
Cooking is derived from different cultures. Like you say, the French cuisine. We have the Zim cuisine. We have the English cuisine. In other words, it's the Zim cooking, the French cooking.
Where in Zimbabwe can I acquire the knowledge for being a chef?
We have polytechnics, and at an advanced stage, University of Zimbabwe is doing culinary arts as well as a university in Guero.
The learners expressed gratitude to Amai for the program.
I liked engineering because I get to invent things in the future.
I used to never make my bed when I woke up. My mother used to do that for me or my sister.
Today we have learned how to choose from different occupations like being a doctor, a lawyer, and even a soldier.
The First Lady's Career Guidance and Stay in School program is a key milestone that assists learners in acquiring cognitive knowledge, information, skills, and experience necessary to identify career options. Against a backdrop of deteriorating traditional values among youths, the program offers a platform to instill important life lessons into children. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News.
Wow, valuable life lessons for the boys there. Well, taking us to our next story by Peter Chivima, where the commuting public has welcomed the newly introduced radius-based restrictions for commuter omnibuses, which have been reduced to 60 kilometers from 120 kilometers.
In a bid to improve road safety, government this Tuesday reviewed and implemented the radius-based restrictions for commuter omnibuses from 120 km to 60 km. The move has been welcomed by the commuting public amid calls for more intercity buses.
Makombi anomanyisa zvisingaite saka izvozvo ini ndinoona zviri zvinhu zvangotinakira kuti ngaawanikwa achingolimitwa distance yawo.
Zvinenge zvakaoma kuti makombi aite svike 60 km because zvinenge zvakuomera isusu vanhu vatinenge chitakurwa. Because mabhazi muno hatina mabhazi, hatisikuwana mabhazi mashoma stereka.
Indoti chakanaka chiitiko chakataurwa nehurumende kuti vanhu varege kupera kufa.
Aiwa, indoti chakanaka nokuti rufu dzemaaccident dzawanda. Ende dzototyisa kuti kukwira kombi kana kuti kungokwira asi hamo yedu inenge yakasviba.
Representatives of bus operators agree with the government's move and are calling for robust law enforcement.
Chatiri kutokumbira kuhurumende ndechekuti
ma-speed limiters aya ngaamonitwe paitiwe strict monitoring yema-speed limiters both kubhazi and kombi.
Transport and Infrastructural Development Minister Honorable Felix Mona explained the rationale behind the new policy.
The idea of us saying we now need to have 60-kilometer radius, we must also take cognizance of the fact that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, is worried about the carnage that we are witnessing on our roads. Yes, we are rehabilitating our roads, but we've also seen a high number of accidents on our rehabilitated roads. And His Excellency is saying we cannot tolerate that. We cannot continue losing precious lives on our roads.
The recent restriction come amid a devastating surge in road traffic accidents, with 37 lives having been lost and over 100 others injured during the Heroes and Defense Forces holidays. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Government has unveiled plans to expand media plurality after mandating the new Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe board to work on 5 new commercial broadcasting licenses within the next 5 months.
The broadcasting industry is said to have more players, with government having tasked the new Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe BAZ, a board of directors, to look into licensing of new television stations. The target is aligned to the holistic vision to broaden diversity and inclusivity, ensuring no place and no one is left behind. After meeting the new board, Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jennifer Muskwere, outlined the agency of the target, one of the key outcomes contained in the performance contracts signed by the new board.
So we expect that in the next 5 months, they should have licensed new players in our country. Part of the board of directors' responsibility is to license new players, commercial, other private players, and other new community radio stations, so that we ensure that there is information ubiquity across the country, thereby ensuring that we leave no one and no place behind.
The new board will also look at safeguarding information security.
Part of the added responsibility in terms of a numerical achievable outcome and output that we expect the board to be able to deliver is the utilization of technologically advanced broadcasting, tracking and surveillance systems that are going to ensure that broadcasting sovereignty is achieved in terms of the dissemination of information.
The Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe board acknowledged the task at hand.
We wish to collaborate with the international organization to learn from best practices and also to secure funding.
Government is also looking at accelerating the information access drive through the second phase of the digitalization project, another key area of priority tasked for the new BAZ board. Meanwhile, the new BAZ board of directors kicked off their new mandates with a familiarization tour of the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation at the Pocket Hill Studios in Harare. The board stated its readiness to work with the national broadcaster to achieve key deliverables, particularly to expand universal access of the television signal through the digitalization project.
The Agricultural and Rural Development Authority, ADA, has scooped the prestigious 2024 Africa Food Prize at the Africa Food Systems Forum in Rwanda, in a development that has showcased the Second Republic's successful transformation of the agricultural sector.
The prestigious $100,000 Africa Food Prize awarded to ADA CEO Mr. Tinotenda Miko at the Africa Food Systems Forum in Kigali, Rwanda, is awarded to Africans who spearhead transformative agricultural initiatives that create jobs and drive economic growth. Mr. Miko beat contestants from 54 other African countries for the Continental Award for successfully implementing government's rural industrialization drive, which includes establishing commercial village business units to improve rural incomes.
We have implemented a revolutionary model which we call the V8 accelerator model. This is basically a productivity enhancement tool which imparts agribusiness skills to the household beneficiaries, where our beneficiaries are both employees and shareholders of the model.
Mr. Miko is accompanied by the Minister of Lands, Agricultural, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Anxious Masuka, who told the audience that government has implemented its agricultural strategies modeled around an upper middle income economy by 2013.
The President's vision to be accomplished, leaving no one and no place behind. It means increasing, bringing these 62% of the population doing agriculture differently so that they too become economic participants and not just spectators.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable Vangelis Aritatos, who is attending the Forum on Food Security in Uzbekistan, highlighted government's successful interventions in irrigation development.
I also highlighted today our government's response with regards to irrigation development, that we are targeting 500,000 hectares of irrigation development, which will guarantee our food, fiber, oil security as a country. And I'm happy to tell you that we're on course, and this is exactly what we are needing to do as a country.
The government is channeling a lot of resources towards agricultural activities that include the Pfumvudza Intwasa program, dam construction and irrigation development as it seeks to boost food security in the country. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
Government's food deficit mitigation strategy has become a source of hope to vulnerable communities in the face of the El Nino-induced drought.
In a small village in Mvuma, a widow's quiet moment of grief reveals the depth of her loss. Standing at her husband's graveside, Mrs. Dorothy Ngara's thoughts are consumed by the daunting task ahead, taking care of their 14 grandchildren alone. The harsh realities of the El Nino-induced drought have been unkind, adding to her burden. Yet in the midst of this desperation, a glimmer of hope emerges through government's food deficit mitigation strategy.
Gore rino hatina kukohwa nokuti kwakapisa. Asi nemhaka yehurumende tiri kutorarama. Pavanotipa ipapo tinosurvive. Nokuti nzara iriko, moziva kuti munhu kuti usadla kubva kuseni kusvika manheru, ugokona kudla zvemangwana kubva kuseni kusvika manheru, upenyu hwako ugorarama nemvura.
Guided by the 2024 Zimbabwe Livelihoods Assessment, government's food deficit mitigation strategy is benefiting vulnerable households, including widows, orphans and the elderly.
Basa redu takatarisana nenyaya dze-drought nedzinzara ndedzekuona kuti tadzikisa matambudziko anokonzereswa nenzara. Iko zvino vanhu vazhinji vari kubatsirika, uyezve vari kubatsirika nechibage chavari kupuwa kana kuti small grains akaita sezviyo, mhunga kana wheat.
The food aid program has provided a lifeline while Mrs. Ngara's grandchildren are getting free education through the Basic Education Assistance Module, BEAM.
Izvozvi ari kuita grade 7 ariko aenda kuMoffat kuchikoro ari muBEAM. Kodene hurumende isingamubhadharirika aide akagara kumba.
Mrs. Ngara is among the more than 52,000 people in Chirumanzu district getting food assistance from government.
Inini sakanzela takapiwa mutemo wekuti chikafu hachinei nokuti munhu ndewebato ripi. Chero webato ripi achingova mwana weZimbabwe ngaapuwe chikafu.
As the drought persists, government's food deficit mitigation strategy remains a vital lifeline for vulnerable communities. For Mrs. Ngara and countless others, it has been a source of strength, a reminder that they are not alone in their struggles. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Mvuma.
You're watching the main news. These and more stories are available on our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Or you can get in touch with us on our social media handles, that is at ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin. In business news, Zimbabwe's aviation compliance ranks high in the region thanks to government's airports modernization strides.
And on sport, Warriors gun for victory when they take on Kenya in an AFCON qualifier. The main news takes a breather. We'll be back with you shortly.
Wrap up your week with the TM Pick and Pay Spring Price Cut Weekend Winners. Make your weekends even brighter with unbeatable deals on all your essentials. TM Pick and Pay. Real value always.
Shot on the line.
He took my fish.
You guys, did you see that? I just was like, what?
I really want you to find someone nice who would mean the world to you and make you so happy.
Bernardo Silva, Stones, Foden, a little bit of time. Oh, what a shot! What a goal! What a player!
Attention, travel and tourism industry professionals, get ready for the Sanganai Hlanganani 2024 Africa's premier business exchange happening September 12th to the 14th in Bulawayo at the ZITF grounds. Over 400 exhibitors and over 100 international buyers media across the globe will interface as the 17th edition of Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo. Never take a chance to be left out to expose your business to the world. Take advantage of the networking platforms. Establish strategic business partnerships with world tourism players. Showcase your destination, products and services. Derive value from well-structured and informative international tourism forums and conferences. Join us at Sanganai Hlanganani 2024. Africa's premier business exchange awaits. See you there.
The Warriors go for the hunt again as they seek to reclaim the glory days. Zimbabwe Warriors will kickstart their Group J 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualification campaign when they face off with the Harambee Stars of Kenya in Uganda at Mandela National Stadium on Friday, the 6th of September 2024 at 3 p.m. Then on Tuesday, the 10th of September 2024, the Warriors of Zimbabwe will host the indomitable Lions of Cameroon at the Mandela National Stadium in Uganda for the second Group J match at 6 p.m. For advertising and marketing, please get in touch with Mildred Banda on 0712-831-177. Catch all the matches live on ZBC TV. Go Warriors Go!
Welcome back. A government has announced a significant budget for the construction of an additional 40 schools across the country. This was announced during the Senate session at the new Parliament building in Mount Hamden this Thursday.
With only 5 days before schools open for the third and final term of the year, government is working on modalities to transform the education sector through infrastructure development. Responding to questions in a Senate session at the new Parliament building in Mount Hamden this Thursday, the Minister of Defense, Comrade Opamchinguri Kashiri, who was representing the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, revealed that the government has set aside funds to construct more schools countrywide.
Government has taken upon itself to increase the number of schools in all the areas in Zimbabwe. I would say more than 40 schools have been budgeted for and will be built to make sure that adequate classrooms are availed.
Honorable Ziyambi also revealed that financial intelligence officers have been deployed to deal with those involved in currency manipulation.
Zvavari kutaura ndozve zvimwe zvatakaongorora kuti vemastoro mahombe vari kuti ivo vane mari yavanoda kutora yedu yemuno vakange vaona mugwama mavo mari iyaya yati svikei vanobva vanyepera kuti swaipa haichashandi kana kuti haichashandi. Saka ndozvezvimwe mutoro watakapa kune Financial Intelligence Unit kuti vaongorore.
The Deputy Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Polite Kambamura, spoke on the importance of corporate social responsibility in the mining sector.
Tine chirongwa chekuti vane migodhi vanosungirwa kunge vachibatsira vanhu vari munharaunda dzine zvicherwa zvavari kuchera. Yatinoti corporate social responsibility pachirungu. Vanhu vari munzvimbo iyoyo vanotenderwa kuti vaende vachinopa zvichemo zvavo kune vanhu vane migodhi.
The newly introduced radius-based restrictions for commuter omnibuses are some of the issues debated in the Senate this Thursday. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Mount Hamden.
We now connect you to the city of Kings and Queens, where Sibukele Maposa is on standby to give us more updates. Sibukele, it's over to you.
Good evening to you, Zain, and thank you very much. We now take a look at stories from this end. The 15th edition of the Association of Healthcare Funders of Zimbabwe's annual conference kicked off in Victoria Falls this Thursday, with government highlighting key legislative interventions to improve the country's health delivery system.
The Zimbabwe healthcare system has undergone significant improvements under the Second Republic, with health indicators like child immunization now above 90% in terms of coverage. Government is now reviewing health legislation to respond better to emerging health challenges. This came out during the official opening of the Association of Healthcare Funders of Zimbabwe, AFO's annual conference in Victoria Falls this Thursday.
These include amendment of the Health Professions Act to strengthen regulation of health professions and create enabling environment for health investment. The Medicines and Allied Substances Act is being amended to expand and strengthen regulation of medicines and medical products. A critical feature of this amendment is provisions allowing regulation of medical devices by MCAZ.
The conference is seeking ways to broaden health coverage and affordability.
The whole idea is that these stakeholders in the healthcare sector should have an opportunity to meet and discuss issues of mutual interest. And of note on our program is the subject of national health insurance.
Zimbabwe surpassed the UN AIDS 95 HIV and AIDS targets, with 95% of people living with HIV are now aware of their status. Around 90% of those diagnosed receive antiretroviral therapy, and 96% of individuals on treatment have their viral load suppressed. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Government has deployed a company to look into the depth of water levels at an aquifer that has been identified between Umzingwane and Hope Fountain in response to Bulawayo's perennial water wars.
Having gone for months without any tap water, Bulawayo residents have resorted to fetching water from pipe leakage spots, which council is failing to fix.
Sometimes tinotombonzi nevamwe bva ipapo but kana tikabva toenda kupi.
Tichangoti deno zvaibvira kana vachiti vanovhara mvura vabve vavhara isi tisaiona ichiwesta.
Kubuhlungu kakhulu. Uyawazi amanzi lawa ageleza every hour, every minute lapha. Abaningi banatha because abala manzi. Abawaboili. As you can see, it's from an open place. So
Council could not give timelines on its plan to replace some leaking pipes, some of which have gone for months unattended.
Even when we are able to deliver raw water, because we have been turning pumps on and off, we have been subjecting our water delivery system to pressures that water delivery system was not designed for. And that has resulted in the massive leakages that we all report every day and see every day.
Government has, however, deployed a company known as Blue Ventures, which has identified an aquifer between Umzingwane and Hope Fountain, a development which is meant to provide a short-term solution to the persistent water wars.
Khuluma kanje kule company eku ground esikhangelela amanzi ku aquifer lay in between Mzingwane and Hope Fountain. Ngokutsho kwabo basibonise ukuthi indawo lani lenkalakatha ye aquifer engasinika amanzi amaningi koBulawayo.
Dams supplying water to Bulawayo are reported to be at 30%, and government is working to complete the Kwaishangani Lake project, which is envisaged to provide a lasting solution to the water wars in the city. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The tourism industry is on a growth trajectory across the African continent, with a positive outlook on investments having been recorded.
Inclusivity, sustainability and investment continue to steer the dialogue at the 7th Africa Tourism Leadership Forum in Gaborone.
Organized by African tourism partners with the support of Botswana Tourism, this Thursday's session saw stakeholders sharing ideas on tapping into tourism's low-hanging fruits that are contributing to economic growth in most countries.
And tourism, as we know, is an important part of our economy, of most economies. And for Africa, it's a growing part of the economy. And it's a really important way to actually create jobs.
On the African continent, we have seen some countries like Morocco, for example, go up to 50% GDP contribution coming from tourism. We have seen countries like South Africa go up to 25 to 30% contribution of GDP from tourism. So there is a significant positive impact that tourism has on countries' GDPs.
United Nations Tourism Secretary General Mr. Zurab Kashivli and UNWTO Regional Director for Africa Ms. Elsia Granco welcomed the positive outlook of international tourist arrivals in Africa.
Culture and creative industries are a powerful force to be harnessed for sustainable growth. They support livelihoods, social cohesion and inclusive development. And they promote Africa as a competitive and attractive destination to the world.
Tourism is a sector that drives economies, and it contributes to 1 out of 10 jobs. It also provides opportunities for investments.
As Africa continues to shape its own tourism future, the focus remains on enhancing economic growth across the continent. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Gaborone.
ZANU-PF Politburo members have urged members of the ruling party's Women's League to play an active role in the country's developmental agenda.
The 2024 ZANU-PF Bulawayo Provincial Women's League Inter-District meeting, which saw scores of women from the ruling party's wing converging at Davis Hall, brought to fore the need for women to play an active role in the country's developmental agenda.
Mama akelisukume libone ukuthi lingobani.
Ongasiletha ndawonye yi-agenda. What is it that we want to achieve? Wena lawe nami lathi sonke ngani. Umongameli Tesimo driver. Bokusisa ku-Vision 2030. Ikuyini okwenzayo sinisana? Kumbe likhangelele someone to come and translate i-vision ka-president into a reality. Wena wasukhohlwa ukuthi ngomunye wabo ubani lobani lomlando.
The Bulawayo Women's League Inter-District meeting comes as the ruling party is preparing for the annual National People's Conference to be held in the city in October. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
And that'll be all from the Montrose News Desk. I am Sibigela Maposa. Joyce and Zain will take us through the rest of the bulletin. From this end, it's a beautiful evening.
Thank you, Sibukela, as well as the Montrose team for taking that stretch off the bulletin. We circle back to the capital, where government's food aid program has been taken to all parts of the country with the focus on transparency in the distribution process.
A special ZANU-PF Mashonaland West Provincial Coordinating Committee meeting combined with the Provincial Development Committee was held in Chinhoyi this Thursday to reflect on developmental projects being implemented in the province. The Minister of State for Presidential Affairs and Devolution in the Office of the President and Cabinet, Honorable Lovemo Matuke, who was the guest of honor, said meaningful development can only be recorded if there is unity of purpose between government and ruling party officials.
You need to hold economic development meetings, which is going to be chaired by the Minister of State. But the meeting, the composition of the meeting is going to include the chair and the APCC and the governor and the heads of departments. So the idea here is to make sure that the government has to know what the party is doing and the party has to know what the government is doing.
Minister Matuke also called for transparency in the distribution of food aid meant for vulnerable communities across the country.
Get more than the rest. That has to be corrected.
The Minister of State for National and West Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Marian Chombo, and the Provincial ZANU-PF Chairperson, Comrade Mary Mliswa Chikoka, stressed the importance of development programs.
This meeting is being held in line with our national development philosophy of leaving no one and no place behind. These engagements are meant to ensure that everybody contributes to the development of our economy using the whole of government and whole of society approach.
Zvakakosha kuti hurumende nepati tinge tiri chinhu chimwe chete takabatana. Tinokutendai zvikuru nepurogiramu yamuri kuita yokufamba mumaprovinsi muchibatanidza PDC nePCC kuitira kuti izvo patinenge tichivaka nyika yedu tese tinenge tichifamba negwara revision 2030.
Minister Matuke also embarked on an assessment tour of the devolution-funded Wichens Primary School in Zimba, with local authorities being rallied to effectively use devolution funds for rural development. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Chinoi.
Women in Mashonaland Central Province have been empowered after the rollout of yet another income-generating initiative by the ZANU-PF Women's League this Wednesday.
Beneficiaries from all 18 legislative constituencies in Mashonaland Central Province warmly welcomed the launch of a poultry pass-on scheme in Bindura this Wednesday, with optimism the initiative will economically empower women.
Project tikuigamuchira chaita pass-on kune vamwe vedu vakatrena isu takatrena kuchengeta huku idzi idzodzi dzitori huku dzauya pamusoro pedzimwe huku saka ndiri kuda kungotenda ende tinopa kutenda kuna amai mebel chinomona mudzimai wekuti ane rudo nemamwe madzimai kuti tisimuke kusvika pavision 2030 yakarehwa nababa Munangagwa.
ZANU-PF National Secretary for Women's Affairs, Comrade Mabel Chinomona, who launched the program, encouraged women to take empowerment initiatives being rolled out by government and the ruling party seriously.
Kana baba vachitaura kuti vision 2030 kuti muri kutofunga kuti chinhu chichauya chakagarapo chinonzi vision 2030 izvozvi we are moving into vision 2030 zvatiri kuita izvozvi kutsvaga meshini kuti itai mafactory kwakuchitsvaga huku ngadzichengetwe muite pass on kuita kuti munhu ega ega pasava neanosara.
5,000 chicks were distributed in the province, with each constituency receiving 275 chicks, which will be passed on to members of the scheme.
Pane vachatambira huku nhasi ndivo vachanotanga nekudzichengeta. Kana dzazotsotsonye mazai dzaburisa vana, imwe bhechi inoteverera yevanhu 11 yobva yawana.
Baba Munangagwa vari kutaura kuti leave no one and no place behind. Saka pahuku apa neconcept yashandiswa nachairman hapana achasara. Was pass-on scheme ende nematrainerwo achaitwa vanhu
Comrade Nomona was accompanied by other members of the ZANU-PF Women's League National Executive as they traversed the country on the Women's Poultry Empowerment Initiative, complementing previously introduced schemes comprising manufacturing of soaps and detergents, baking and sewing. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Bindura.
The main news takes a breather. We'll be back shortly with business updates.
Attention, travel and tourism industry professionals. Get ready for the Sanganai Hlanganani 2024, Africa's premier business exchange, happening September 12th to the 14th in Bulawayo at the ZITF grounds. Over 400 exhibitors and over 100 international buyers, media across the globe will interface as the 17th edition of Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo. Never take a chance to be left out to expose your business to the world. Take advantage of the networking platforms. Establish strategic business partnerships with world tourism players. Showcase your destination, products and services. Derive value from well-structured and informative international tourism forums and conferences. Join us at Sanganai Hlanganani 2024. Africa's premier business exchange awaits. See you there.
The Warriors go for the hunt again as they seek to reclaim the glory days. Zimbabwe Warriors will kickstart their Group J 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualification campaign when they face off with the Harambee Stars of Kenya in Uganda at Mandela National Stadium on Friday, the 6th of September 2024 at 3 p.m. Then on Tuesday, the 10th of September 2024, the Warriors of Zimbabwe will host the indomitable Lions of Cameroon at the Mandela National Stadium in Uganda for the second Group J match at 6 p.m. For advertising and marketing, please get in touch with Mildred Banda on 0712-831-177. Catch all the matches live on ZBC TV. Go Warriors Go!
The Commissioner General of Police, Tandabantu Godwin Matanga, Deputy Commissioner Generals, Commissioners, Officers and members of the Zimbabwe Republic Police and their families join His Excellency, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, the entire nation and the Ndabambi family in mourning the passing on of the national hero, Brigadier General retired Shadrack Dingani Ndabambi on 28 August 2024. The country has lost a distinguished military commander and liberation war stalwart who played a pivotal role in the liberation struggle and continued to save the country with distinction after independence. The late national hero, Brigadier General retired Shadrack Dingan Ndabambi, whose Chimrenga name was Dingan Kimati, joined the liberation struggle in 1975 and received initial military training in Tembwe, Tete province of Mozambique in 1976. After training, the late national hero was deployed in Manica province, Monomutapa sector before being assigned to work in the late Comrade Josiah Magama Tongogara's office at Zanla headquarters in Gondola, where he was responsible for drawing operational and cartographic materials. After independence, Brigadier General retired Shadrack Dingan Ndabambi joined the Zimbabwe National Army and was attested in September 1981. He rose through the ranks and was awarded several medals for his dedication and exemplary service to the nation, including Liberation and Independence Medal, Mozambique Campaign Medal, and Democratic Republic of Congo Campaign Medal. After retiring from the army, Brigadier General retired Shadrack Dingan Ndabambi continued to contribute towards the development of the country, particularly in the areas of agriculture. The Zimbabwe Republic Police will continue to be inspired by the late national hero's bravery, loyalty, and dedication to duty. May his dear soul rest in peace. Go well, son of the soil. Hamba kahle, kawe lamakawe, famba zvakanaka, gamba remagamba.
Welcome Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We jump straight into our business news where the modernization of the country's air traffic control and related aviation systems has helped attract international airlines into the country's airspace, with Zimbabwe ranking high in terms of compliance among its regional peers. Let's get more.
Through investment into modern surveillance and radar systems, the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, has lauded the Civil Aviation Authority of Zimbabwe, CAS, for creating a safe airspace through complying with global standards. CAS held its annual general meeting in Harare this Thursday, with the board citing achievements in luring international airlines into the country's airspace.
We saw the commissioning of the second surveillance, secondary radar and the ATC's center, and all those are a requirement. It's not something which you can say, I'll do it tomorrow. Now we are able to monitor our airspace effectively and with the speed which we expect. Now we are able to pick even the low-flying aircraft, which we were not able to do before then.
The Deputy Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development, who was the guest of honor, noted the transformation of cars under the Second Republic, which has gone hand in hand with the modernization of the country's airports.
What CARS has done by investing in the safe skies, by putting in place these radar systems, this will allow safe travel in and out of our country, much more efficiency, monitoring of flights over the country, and we are very happy as the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure Development that CARS has managed to achieve this.
The Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Transport and Infrastructure Development, which attended the meeting, also noted CARS' sense of urgency in resolving outstanding corporate governance issues, including updating its audited financial statements.
The CARS board has realized that the Second Republic under His Excellency President Idi Mnangagwa is very serious when it comes to compliance issues, and they've taken steps to rectify that. And they've also told us that all the outstanding financial statements are going to be audited.
Established in 1999, the Civil Aviation Authority of Zimbabwe was unbundled, resulting in the formation of the Airports Company of Zimbabwe to comply with the global requirements. The authority is the regulator, while the ACZ is responsible for managing the country's airports infrastructure. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
And that's our look at business. We head straight to the arts. A teenage chanter from Harare is the talk of town after bagging the crown at a talent search show held last weekend. ZBC News caught up with a teen chanter known as Rio Libo, who believes he is in the next big thing on the Zim dancehall scene. Let's get more.
Naundadzidza kuna rudo rwekumanikidza munhu anoshanduka kana wamuratidza aufewa dionewa unodawo.
Tawanda Libat Karera, known as Rio Libo in the music circles, is on cloud 9 after winning the Zim Dancehall Cup Clash Talent Search show held in Harare at the weekend. The teen chanter, who is not new in the industry after recording his first song at the age of 11, believes he has what it takes to emulate the likes of Killer T.
Nangukuru ndingofara music kuchikoro naingozikanwa nenhau yekuimba music dzawamwe kuchikoro ndokuzotanga wana yazvitawo kuimbawo. Saka ini ndakatanga kureleasa masongs 2017 ndoba natanga kureleasa masongs and then kuperforma ndatotanga kudhara kuperforma. And then ndakazopindawo pama-artist pa-Cup Clash inoitwa pagore yemuzimbabwe. And then ndakapinda kekutanga vanaita number 2 kechi2 futi vanaita number 2 kechi3 ndopa ndakazowina Cup Clash.
Libo is among the stars who proved their talent at a young age. Talent search contests in the country have been instrumental in launching careers for various artists, among them Brian Kadengu, who rose to fame after winning the prestigious Star Bride show. Patience Nyagato, ZBC News, Harare.
I love you, you love me too.
Well, indeed, music is life and music keeps the world going round and round. The main news takes a break, but when we return, we'll give you the latest updates in sport.
Want to pay for your DSTV account or renew your DSTV subscription? Dial *151# to pay for your DSTV with your EcoCash USD wallet anywhere, anytime, and get connected instantly. No need to wait in a queue or ask anyone to pay for DSTV anymore. To subscribe for your DSTV package with your EcoCash USD wallet, simply dial *151#, select USD currency, select Make Payments, select Direct Payments, select Pay DSTV, select Renew Subscription, and you will be connected instantly. Live life the EcoCash way.
The Warriors go for the hunt again as they seek to reclaim the glory days. Zimbabwe Warriors will kickstart their Group J 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualification campaign when they face off with the Harambee Stars of Kenya in Uganda at Mandela National Stadium on Friday, the 6th of September 2024 at 3 p.m. Then on Tuesday, the 10th of September 2024, the Warriors of Zimbabwe will host the indomitable Lions of Cameroon at the Mandela National Stadium in Uganda for the second Group J match at 6 p.m. For advertising and marketing, please get in touch with Mildred Banda on 0712-831-177. Catch all the matches live on ZBC TV. Go Warriors Go!
Welcome back from the break. In our first sport report, the Zimbabwe women national cricket team, the Lady Chevrons, return to the international stage when they take part in the Capricorn Eagles Tri-Series, which gets underway in Namibia this Friday.
The Lady Chevrons are back in action after participating at the Women's T20 World Cup qualifiers in the United Arab Emirates in May. Zimbabwe take on host Namibia and the United Arab Emirates in a tri-series which starts this Friday. The technical department has announced a youthful 15-member squad eager to make a mark on the international stage. The Lady Chevrons will begin their campaign with the date against the United Arab Emirates this Saturday before taking on host Namibia on Sunday. The team will then face the UAE again on the 10th of September and Namibia on the 11th. The final round of matches will take place on the 13th and 14th of September, with the Zimbabwe facing the UAE first. All matches will be played at the Wanderers Cricket Ground in Windhoek, with the tournament concluding on the 14th of September. Anna Shemurombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
The Zimbabwe senior national football team, the Warriors, are gunning for victory when they take on Kenya in their first match of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Uganda this Friday.
It is at the dawn of a new era as Zimbabwe starts the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers with a debt against Kenya, a side that has troubled them so much, and they'll be playing away from home. But head coach Michael Nisa has emphasized the need to start well and the need to adjust from previous failures.
We wanted to change a little bit the mentality. You know, it's always difficult when teams where you have local-based players who are a different style of football used to play, who have maybe a little bit a slower game, but from an individual technique, a very good game. And then the Europeans who are actually more used to play a high pressing game and fluent passing. So we had to adjust that a little bit, that we get all back on the same mentality road.
The players are equally of the same belief.
We can't be saying, oh yeah, we had a good performance, but we lost. I think that we want to be able to come out of this and think, okay, have some points on the board, because I think that's the most important thing.
We play with a lot of confidence and follow exactly what the coach is bringing. It's a little bit new, but like I said, we're professional enough. We need to adjust very quick, and we have got a very good squad.
The Harambee Stars believe playing at a neutral venue levels the playing field.
You don't have this support. You're playing away all the time. Always you travel. It makes you tired. Always new fields. You have to adapt. It's always very difficult. So plus, like I said, fans, if the fans, maybe they can even influence the referee with the support and so on.
The pre-match talk is done. What is left is to do duty in the 90 minutes as the Warriors take on the Harambee Stars, a side that has troubled them, defeating defeating them in the last 3 matches. Lawrence Rusida, ZBC News, Kampala.
Still in the world of sport, Zimbabwean sprinter Tapiona Shimakarau, who represented the country with pride at the just-ended Paris Olympics, has been honored in the U.S. city of Hobbs, where he is based. This comes after the 3rd of September 2024 was declared Tapiona Shimakarau Day. The day was proclaimed by Hobbs City Mayor, His Worship Sam Cobb. Makarau made it to the 200-meter final at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, France, but fell short of a podium finish when he finished 6th in the dash that also featured another Zimbabwean, Makanakaishe Charamba.
Well, congratulations to Tapiona Shimakarau for that honor and that report concluding sport and taking us to the weather report at Focused.
Good evening, viewers. I hope you find you well. My name is Baba Maketa, and it's time for today's weather report and forecast. For our weather in brief, we're expecting it to be mostly sunny from today up to Sunday, and it should be cold in the morning, becoming warm in the afternoon. Looking into our weather for today, it was very cold in the morning in most parts of the country, especially over the northern half of Zimbabwe, but it became warmer as the day progressed. Tomorrow we're expecting the same conditions again. It should be mostly sunny throughout the day, being cold in the morning and warm in the afternoon. The same situation again is expected for Saturday, with some breaks of clouds here and there, especially over the extreme northern parts of the country. Our temperatures throughout the night are expected to drop to as low as 10 degrees Celsius in Midlands, specifically over Gweru. But over the valleys, that is Zambezi and Sawe valleys, we're expecting temperatures only to go to as low as 15 and 16 degrees Celsius. In our maximum temperatures tomorrow, we're expecting the lowest to be 29 degrees Celsius, again over Midlands, and the highest over Kariba, as well as the whole of the Zambezi Valley and the Sawe valleys. Now, for our weather forecast in detail for our major cities, Bulawayo is expected to be mostly sunny. However, on Monday and Tuesday, same temperatures are expected to drop to around 31 and 29 degrees Celsius with some cloudy conditions. In Chinoi, mostly sunny conditions are expected throughout the week, and temperatures are not expected to fluctuate that much. In Gwanda, mostly sunny conditions are expected again, but temperatures should drop on Monday and Tuesday, and cloudy conditions are expected during these days. In Gweru, it should be cold in the morning and warm in the afternoon, with some cloudy conditions being expected on Monday as well as Tuesday. In Harare, the capital city, mostly sunny conditions are expected throughout the week, but temperatures are expected to drop only on Monday and Tuesday. In Kadoma, mostly sunny conditions are expected again with some wind on Monday and Tuesday. Kariba, mostly sunny conditions, but some clouds are expected on Saturday, Sunday, as well as Monday. Lupane, mostly sunny conditions, but Thursday should be a little bit different. Kwekwe, mostly sunny, but cloudy on Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures almost similar throughout the week. Masvingo should be cold on Monday and Tuesday, but the rest of the week should be mostly sunny and warm in the afternoon. In Matobo, we are expecting mostly sunny conditions again, but windy on Monday and Tuesday with temperatures dropping again. Nyanga, cloudy conditions are expected from Saturday up to Tuesday, and temperatures should be low throughout the week. Victoria Falls, mostly sunny conditions, and temperatures are not expected to fluctuate. They should play around 33 to 37 degrees Celsius in the afternoon. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Well, that caps tonight's bulletin. From the crew behind the scenes and all of us here, good night.
Good night.